Hello everyone, it's that one guy, and today we are going to learn how to play Mindustry. Yes, Mindustry class, very fun. So, this game's kind of a sandbox, tower defense game slash factorial game, so very fun if you ask me. And today we are going to play it. So yeah, this is kind of going to be a series where I teach you how to play, and I also play the game at the same time. I have quite a bit of experience, but it's kind of just fun to replay the game sometimes. So without further ado, let's just dive right in. So the first thing you're gonna see when you load in is this little box here called Ground Zero. It's called a sector, and yeah, so it's pretty easy. It's just you got basic resources, only 10 only 10 waves. Sorry. But yeah, plentiful resources for our needs. Pretty easy, not too many enemies, and yeah, so just click launch, I guess. Sorry, my PC's kind of slow. By the way, if I don't explain things well enough in this tutorial, there's some, like, tips over here. They're just not showing up for some reason. But the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to build drills like this. Now the reason you're building drills in such a wonky pattern, as you can see, is because in between you have to have space for placing conveyor belts. Conveyor belts are just things that help get things moved around, pretty self-explanatory, and you can just curve them. I'm playing on PC, so it should be a little different from the mobile app version, but still pretty basic principles, well, pretty same principles. And yeah, you can also manually mine by just tapping on raw copper like this, and boom, just like that, copper's flowing into your core. So the next thing I want to do is, it's also a defense game, so this is the drop point. Enemies, this is where they'll spawn, and they will also, anything inside the circle, when they spawn, will be instantly, like, destroyed. So, usually, you'd want to start building these turrets, but you actually want to cover them with a wall, as I will show you. So, you need 200 copper to research it. I have 230, so I should be fine. And once we research this, you want to place it along the bubble thing, and you don't want to place it too close, or otherwise you'll just get destroyed by the drop point. But you also want to make it close enough so that enemies just get spawn killed. Yeah, do this for both sides, because enemies will actually pathfind to find the easiest route to your core to destroy it. Yeah, by the way, the core was what we were feeding copper into, and if it gets destroyed, then you lose. So, yay. But yeah, just build walls, should be fine, nothing too bad. But walls won't stop them when you actually need something to terminate them. So we are going to use these little turrets, because we have nothing better, like big lasers, yet. But right now we're getting bottlenecked by our copper, so if I wanted to just, like, get more copper, I would go up to the small patch right here, and just set up some new drills with my remaining copper I have left. As you can see, I'm out of copper, but I can still build because I still have some flowing into my core. But just put this down and flow it back to your core like you did with any other piece of resource. So, there. Now resource go down here into core. Just do that with conveyors and you should be fine. And yeah, now we're going to get copper a lot faster. And now we can start building some more of these turrets to defend our base. Oh yeah, that's the music, by the way. It's very cool. It's good music. This is just one of the songs, by the way. I'm sorry if it's a little bit obnoxious, but it's staying because it's good. So, yeah, all of this is flowing, but it doesn't look like, if this stuff is jamming up, that's because there's not enough throughput from this line. So if you could do this if you wanted to. It's optional, but sometimes it might help with production. Is curve off from one of your lines like this, so that this is separate and this is separate, and so you get more throughput. And yeah, that's just how you mine some copper, so yay. Yeah, so more about defense. Keep checking in on it every once in a while in case you have some things get broken and you have to replace it. But right now the wave is coming, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna manually shoot because these turrets are neither loaded and there's not many of them. So this is what they look like, plain and simple, dude. And yeah, you can just do this. Dead. And yeah, some of my walls got damaged, but that's okay. Their only purpose was to just protect the inside. And yeah, just basically build more of these turrets, and I'll show you how to fill them with ammo in the simplest way. But the only bad part is as soon as you get more advanced at the game, the way I'm gonna do is gonna look disgusting. But yeah, we're gonna route our chain, boys. So, yes, copper's coming in insanely fast, but we need to go into our tech tree and research the router. I'm just going to take 100 copper. We can get that pretty easily because our insane copper production. And just drag them along so each one is touching the duos. Do it for each side. This can also distribute ammunition to our turrets. And that's very useful if we want to load a large amount of them like this. Oh yeah, and make sure your routers are connected to each other, or else they can't transport resources through air. Just keep that in mind. And then drill. These turrets run on copper. There's all types of things turrets can run on, and there's some better ammunitions, but we're nowhere near advanced enough to get those. So you're just gonna. You can place the router wherever you want to start distributing, and just put one inlet, and then there's going to be 2 outlets that just evenly split on either side, as you can see. And pop that into your routers. So now this whatever you call it, defense should self-sustain itself. And yeah, because all the copper is going to come and load them, so you don't have to manually shoot. But you might have to shoot if there's not enough firepower. Like there's going to be this wave because they just started loading. So yeah, just manually shoot this dude like you did, and yeah, they'll start getting deaded by these dudes pretty quickly. And now we also want to get some lead, which is your second resource. And you can get it, I'm going to get it from this small patch because this is where I usually get it from whenever I start out a new game. But back here, these are blocked off. So these won't be able, you can't get lead over this. Let me just a second. Okay, we're good. But yeah, you can't get lead. You can't transfer lead over to them because drills don't just connect to each other. You have to connect them with some form of conveying, which we will do in a second, but first you have to plug this in. And you gotta research the item that is required to move them over, like we're going to do now. And so, go back to tech tree, and do the bridge conveyor. But right now we actually need to connect some of this lead before we can put the bridge conveyor over. I'll show you what the bridge conveyor does in a second. Because we need to it takes lead to make the bridge conveyor. So just connect your existing ones that are eligible to connect to a conveyor belt and flow it into your core like you would copper. You can mine them with the same drill. Yeah, no less advanced. So that's about it. Oh, this back is not connected. So that's about it. Copper and lead is all you're going to get here. Unless you want to collect this, it's pretty useless. It's called scrap, and you can melt it into refiners later game, but for now it's kind of just useless. Bye-bye. So, yeah, 1.2 thousand copper, so that's pretty dang good, because you're going to want to launch with about 3,000 copper to the next sector. If you want to make a small defense, but 4,000 is optimal. And yeah, waves in this game usually slowly get more advanced and harder every single time. So just keep upgrading your defense, because as the game keeps going, you'll get more advanced resources, and yeah, so it'll be easier to defend. but you also have to put better turrets and stuff, obviously. So that's the basics, really, including defense. But yeah, there are some other stuff I can still show you. This button right here can force call a wave, so if I just wanted to call one, like my defense is ready and I don't want to wait for that full timer to go down, then I can just call one in right away. And then they get shredded. So I'm just going to keep doing that quick because my defense is ready, definitely. And also, just another thing, if you have spare resources, it's always good to put them towards research, like copper walls, scatters, things like that, which I just did and wasted all my resources doing. But also, if you see lots of a patch of your walls that are just generally getting quite damaged, replace them with a large copper wall if you can. They're chunkier, but they also have 4 times the health and 4 times the size. So yeah, just keep grinding resources, keep oh yeah, and use the bridge conveyor. We're gonna research. I'll do that in a second. But just keep putting any extra resources you have towards research, and try to get as much technology as you can. Otherwise, from that, keep expanding your resource production, and you should be pretty good to go after that. I'm just gonna destroy these old drills because they're not set up very well, and I'm going to put new drills over, and I'm going to mine lead. I'm curving these. It might take you a little longer to curve the conveyor belts, but I played this game for a while, so it's pretty easy. You just kind of have to drag with your finger. It's kind of just a thing that you figure out as you play longer. There is another thing is you can mix your resources, but you don't want to do that because it's easier to jam up and will generally reduce throughput. And I could have connected it to this other lead conveyor, but there's so much lead coming through that would have clogged it up because there's simply not enough speed on this conveyor to harness all of that. And so, yes, when these start jamming, that means all of your turrets are full. They might be a little bit empty, but that's because they only fired half the shell and the ammo, whatever that means. But yeah, do not stay. Well, I'll show you what happens when you stay inside. So let's say you stay inside. This happens. You can see. No, I can't really see my character, but watch. Just flung straight out. And this time an air unit spawned, which is this guy right here. And oh crap, he actually got to my base. This thing's being a fly. So yes, these duos will kill it. I would much rather use a scatter. There's this guy right here. But I don't have enough resources, so that sucks. Because scatter is far more efficient at destroying air units. And you can see I built some duos down there really quick. That was just to try to help expand my defense. But if that happens, just try to build some walls around your core and you'll be fine. And you can just spam call the rest of these waves. So finally, the next tier of enemy came in. It's this big chonker that's walking in. He's a bit more tanky and deals some more damage. But if your defense is like mine, then you should be just fine. And as you can see, they actually broke through our wall, but that doesn't matter because we can just replace it. And yeah, but that's pretty much it. So final wave, all of these dudes coming, 2 air units. Those are going to be very annoying. And they both managed to get through our defense. I must have built it wrong. Well, and this was the first episode. I'll do more advanced sectors later, but this was trying to also teach you how to play the game. But I also don't want to spoil it too much, so on the next episode I won't explain as much and I'll do more of the gameplay part than the tutorial. Yeah, that's about it. Kill these dudes and then we'll win. I'll show you what it looks like when we do. But they're being freaking annoying, so I'll kill them off camera and I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I captured the sector because both of them got destroyed. But now, all you're going to want to do is grind as many resources as you can, and when you're ready, you're going to want to go here, which is Frozen Forest. It's your next sector. There's coal there, so now you can start making graphite and some other things. So, I'll go through that tomorrow, but for now, just keep making resources and playing the game. So, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.